What things probably won't exist in 25 years? Trustworthy video evidence. This is a great one. I just recently saw a video on deepfakes. It's scary to think how fast the technology is advancing. Also, great name BTW Edit. Thanks for the love, guys. I was not expecting this to get the attention it did. For a while, yes. It will give rise to demand for countermeasures, and countermeasures they will deliver. Humans have always been best at selling solutions to problems they themselves created. Countermeasures, and countermeasures, that is the worst thing that has to always happen with everything. All of our technology has to keep being retooled and recreated and upgraded and reinforced, for pretty much no other reason than to combat society's assholes. Every conceivable thing that we do needs to be redone, over and over, to prevent scumbags from abusing and manipulating it. You can't just have a password. You need it to contain at least 8 characters, and they must include upper and lowercase letters and numbers and special characters, and then you need to prove you're not a robot, and then you need to click on all the pictures of trains, and then you need to have your authenticator code, and then you need to enter the code we sent via email. But then your password was exposed on the dark web, so you need to do all of that 47 times for all of your accounts because someone used your bank account to get an Uber into NYC. Boss, humans have turned all of our modern conveniences into chores. This isn't significantly different from any time in our evolutionary past. The ability to lie, and the ability to detect lies, has been an evolutionary arms race for at least as long as humans have been a species. Have you read Gladwell's Talking to Strangers? Turns out we are not good at detecting liars. He does not speculate whether we ever were. Edit title. You mean talking to strangers? Right, I reckon one of you is lying. Human cashiers at grocery stores. GTA 6. To go along with this, the 25th iteration of the Xbox without a GTA 5 remaster. Me. By way of explanation, I'm 64 now. No male on either side of my family tree has ever made it to 89. Ergo, I have reason to believe I won't either. Sounds like I'd better take up skydiving while I still can. Wish you well, Bob. Hope the years are good to you. Cable television. It's being replaced by internet television, and the shitty ads will come back, and the price will skyrocket and the bundles will bundle. We already have multiple paid streaming services with ads, and I continue to refuse to fund them, but people evidently don't care. Way too many people willing to pay for 6 streaming services, and 3 of them have ads. Seriously, it's just come full circle and we are basically back to how it was with cable, lol. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. I think Mark Twain said that, if I'm not mistaken. I like to see history as a spiral. We circle around certain mechanics, but make progress in between. Looking forward to becoming a 21st century pirate. Lol, you're not already? One of these days I'll finally get to download a car. Same question in 1996, answers? Those commercials advertising compilation CDs of like 15 classic rock songs or whatever, with the scrolling song list playing a snippet of like every 4th song. Now that's what I call music. Volume 20376. Apple's fancy charging adapters. It might happen sooner than you think. The EU just mandated a single standardized smartphone charger. Android already changed to the industry-neutral USB-C adapter, but it looks like Apple will have to do this too, now. My wife has a new iPad Air. It came with a USB-C charger. Pleasantly surprised. The Rolling Stones. I don't think Keith Richards has been really alive for quite some time. Just a walking guitar playing zombie. No, Keith is going to outlive all of us. When the aliens show up in 1,000 years to investigate what's left of a world devastated by nuclear apocalypse, he'll be the one who tells them our tale. He'll be the one who tells them our tale incoherently, though, and with a roomy cough. O right den, ere was the race of humanity. Some sigh we go what we'd served, some sigh it was est ny. Oi sigh it was all a lot of nonsense if you ask me. Sigh, you wouldn't happen to have any poppers, would you? Love me some poppers. We used to do them all the time on Taoa. No? Well, how do you call yourselves an advanced soy Eddie, den? My stamina. Must be nice having stamina. I hate having low constitution vitality. Made a bad build early on by dumping everything into spirit and now I can't afford a respec. Australians, I feel like the emus are about to strike you guys again. Who says we're only going to strike Australians? You fiendish bastards. Telephones, payphones. Well, someone has probably said this already, but newspapers, not many people buy them these days. Strange thing, my last company has a wealthy client buying up newspapers. Think he owns 8 now? Kept them in business and kept them profitable. No idea how he does that. Targeted ad revenue and creative accounting to conceal the real income stream. World War II veterans and Holocaust survivors. I remember, as a kid in like 1990 or 91, I knew a World War I get. There are none of them left now. Yeah, I definitely remember meeting some World War I vets at random family functions in the 80s. Not many though, maybe 2 I think. As far as I'm aware, the last one died in 2011. Privacy in our digital life. This has been way gone. It's the most concerning one. The prevalence of digital id and shadow profiles is so concerning with how lax privacy is. Toilet paper. We will figure out how to use the 3 shells. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. What if 3 seashells is just the winning company in the bidet wars? Clint Eastwood. Ironically, he's always played Old Man Eastwood since the late 80s. He's been old for longer than he was young. I rung him up regularly during my retail days over 20 years ago and he already looked like he was on death's door way back then. Your youth and most likely your parents. Don't take either for granted today. I'm 49 and I know things. As a millennial with parents who had me pretty late, I felt this. They weren't perfect parents, but losing either one of them would be a somber experience. Thanks for the reminder. I'm a millennial and my dad was born in 1941. He died about 2 years ago from Parkinson's. I'm not ready to lose my mom quite yet. Reddit. All websites like this die eventually. Well shit, how am I gonna be able to check this post for accuracy? Grab some popcorn and sit and scroll Reddit till it doesn't work. To be fair, Reddit stops working a lot. I have this working theory that as of 2021 the singer Elvis is just starting to be culturally forgotten. When I was younger I used to see Elvis references every now and again. He was pretty huge, I guess, even though he was way before my time. Now I swear it has been years since I've heard or seen him referenced. To test this theory I ask people if they remember Elvis, and I get the total "oh yay, Elvis" that you might get from some obscure show from the 90s. Not so fast. Warner Brothers are making Elvis musical biopic set for a 2022 release. It'll be fascinating to see if it will garner the same renewed interest in him like the movies for Queen and Elton John did for them, or if it's a little too late to have the same effect. A couple billion people. Queen Elizabeth. You sure? DVDs. People will still collect them. There are people who still collect VHS tapes. And cassettes. Cassettes are actually widely used in prisons. Ozzy Osbourne, maybe. I mean, he's lasted this long. So it'll be interesting to see what takes him in the end. Now he has Parkinson's disease, so probably start going downhill now. Free drinking water is a big maybe. Where I live tap water is not safe to drink, so no water fountains. Restaurants will charge you for a glass of water and buying water for the week is just as essential as groceries. Not complaining though, because I've seen places in other parts of the world go weeks without running water. Let alone drinkable. The name Karen.